Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We are going to talk about lighting a retail environment. What should you consider? The type of space, the setting of color temperature, layering of light, and different or specialty areas. There are different types of retail spaces with different goals. Think about the product, why the shopper is there, and who the shopper is. What is the feeling that you want to give to the shopper in the space? Think about how a convenience store looks, how a box store looks, a department store, a high-end luxury goods store, or a jewelry store. Depending on the type of store, you want to consider your color temperature, your CCT. Using different color temperatures in a space can be very helpful. In convenience stores, you can see that they prefer to use a very high color temperature around 5,000 K, sometimes even cooler than that. The reason for that is that they want people in and out of the store. They don't want people lingering. They want their cashier to be able to service customers very quickly. And having a 5,000 K environment makes that possible. We don't really feel wonderful under 5,000 K. So we go in, we pick out what we need, and we leave very quickly. Department stores like 4,000 K. It's a good general color temperature for them. And then they will use other color temperatures to supplement with. High-end luxury goods stores prefer somewhere between 27K to 35K, and they like using a very high CRI in those spaces. Jewelry stores are one of many places that like to use a mix because it really enhances their product and it helps them sell it better. So in jewelry stores, you'll see 3,000K being used with gold, 4,000K being used with silver. If the store sells a lot of diamonds, you'll see a lot of 5,000 or 6,000K shining on the diamonds. Those color temperatures make the diamonds sparkle tremendously. And the jewelry store is a good example because they have a lot of cases. And as you will be able to, you're going to have your general lighting, and that could be recessed lighting. And then you're going to have your cases where you have tape lighting. And then in that same space, in those same cases, you're going to see where you're going to use probably something like the micro LED in its bezel shining on specific higher value items. So you want to think about all these different things in the space. You also want to think about layering the different colors to get the different effects. Color temperature is very important in the space, but you must also consider your CRI, which CRI stands for Color Rendering Index. A high CRI is necessary in most cases. You can have 90 CRI, you can have 95 CRI. There are products that are 80 and 85 CRI. Picking the right CRI depends on your space. And if you have a space where you have very high CRIs, that's a positive thing. But then you want the higher the CRI, the better reds in general look. And so how do you know that you're going to make these blue jeans pop in the space? And what you do in the next step is you start reading the TM30 report to make a better choice for your lighting options. TM30 dives deeper into fidelity index, gamut index, and color vector. So what is fidelity index? Fidelity index is how close the observed light, or the light being used, can render color like the sun using 99 colors. Now, that's the beauty of the TM30. They use 99 colors to judge the light by, where the CRI only used 15. The gamut index will tell you how saturated or desaturated the color is, how much intensity you're going to get out of it. And then you're going to look at the color vector, which colors are, it's going to tell you what colors are saturated and desaturated, and where there's a hue shift in the fixture. So that helps you decide what color is going to do the right thing for what you're trying to sell. Okay, we want to talk about layered light. So in retail, you want general light, and then you want to highlight your merchandise. So the general light gives you the light for you to be able to walk into the space, to see the space completely lit. But then the merchandise lighting is going to make your items pop. It's going to make you able, it's going to make your customer able to walk in, and all of a sudden, you know, your best item or your most expensive item is going to be highlighted, and the customer is going to walk over and they're going to pick it up and they're going to look at it, and they're going to be more likely to purchase that item. So layering is very important. Merchandise lighting, as you see here in this image right here, we have some of our LED tape on both sides of the shelves lighting the sunglasses, and this is an eyewear company. So it will make those eyeglasses pop, as you can see even in the picture it shows it. So look into lighting the merchandise that you want to sell and accent it. The key to that is to make your accent light on your merchandise 4 times brighter than your general light. Integrating lighting into shelving or having track light to highlight displays or mannequins or specific items, that will make the customer pick that item up, twice more likely to pick it up and more likely to purchase it. So merchandise lighting is very important. You're not going to highlight everything in the space, but usually you highlight your latest and your newest product, and then you can light the things that are of higher value in your space where you can make more money for your business. What to consider, different areas. So in a retail space where you're selling merchandise, you have your front window, you have your fitting rooms, you also have the desk at which you bring people up and take their money. So retail stores have specialty places, and probably the most important of these specialty places is your front window or your front display window. You want to be able to see that from the street to entice customers to come in. So that's a very important area. And then in the case of a clothing store, you have fitting rooms. And fitting rooms is when somebody picks up a sweater or a dress and they want to go and try it on. You want to make sure that they look good when they're trying it on. So one of the things that you should consider about front windows or the facade of a store. These areas are very important. Think about Christmas windows at Macy's or the Bay for Canadians. This window captures people's attention, highlights products, and draws them into the store. You need to think about how not only are you competing with daylight, but also how you're competing with street light in the evening. So you want to make your windows brighter, use bolder colors. Think about dynamic lighting. Lighting that moves, color changing works and draws attention. Varying light levels, have things be very punchy in the space so that it draws customers' eyes to the window. Track lighting is very helpful in these window areas. Fitting rooms. Once the shopper's in the store and looked around and selected highlighted items, they want to try on clothing or shoes or belts, jackets. So once somebody goes into the fitting room, you want to continue their excellent lighting experience in the fitting room. In the old days, you would only have lighting in the ceiling from overhead, and that would cast shadows. Sometimes the color temperatures weren't so hot. So today, what you want to do is you want to probably put light on either side of the mirror like you see in the image here. And you want that light to be warmer. I've seen some fitting rooms where you have tunable white in and around the mirror, and also it coordinates with the light in the ceiling. So tunable white, dim to warm, so that you can see what you look like during the day, what you look like during the evening. Some fitting rooms have settings for daytime, in the office, or going out in the evening, and you could select from 3 of them. So think about those as options because it helps sell product. In summary, there are many items to consider, but be sure to think about the purpose of retail space. How long do you want the customer to be there? That's one of the reasons in supermarkets that they play music that we all know. They keep you there longer. Select the correct color temperature. Use the correct CRI. Use TM30 to help you ensure to have the right added color pop to bring out your merchandise. Layer your light and make merchandise lighting 4 times brighter than your general light. Don't forget about the special spaces, the front window, the fitting room, your cash register area. Those are all very important. Any questions?